Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Yo, what's good, y'all? What's the word? What's going on? How everybody doing out there? Y'all already know what it is, man. We are back again. And it's bonus banger time, y'all. That's a lot. I got a bonus banger for y'all. Y'all know I keep a bonus banger, and I always have one, and that's a lot. I keep one. But y'all already know what it is, man. Like I always say before I start these videos off, I have no problem delivering this content to everybody that's out there working hard, working a 9 to 5. Everybody that's out there with their own business, getting to that bag the legit way. I make sure y'all got something to watch in the morning times, and I promise y'all, there's no problem on my end. I also have no problem making sure I'm warning y'all and telling y'all about how dangerous prison is. I only ask for one thing in the process, and that's for y'all to just stay out the way, man. That's it. Why you don't want to stay out the way, man? You rather run the streets until you get locked up or worse? That's what you rather do, man. Like, I ain't even gonna lie, man. Like, today's time, man, to see how people move around, man, it's like, it feels like there's really no hope to save nobody, man. But like, the only hope to save people is for people to save their self. And what I mean by that, man, like, you gotta want to get out the streets. You gotta want to stop doing BS. You gotta want to stop robbing people. You gotta want to stop just trying to unalive people for no reason, man. All this beef that is going on, man, it's like forever lasting beef. It's gonna be generations of beef, man. And it's like, that's not right and exact, man. That's not how you're supposed to move out here, man, because you're gonna end up leaving your family in the process, man. Stop what you're doing right now if you in these streets, man. Just think about it. Just think about your kids. Think about your mom and dad. Think about the people that's going to really miss you if you leave, man. Think about them before you do something stupid, man. That's all I'm trying to say. I ain't trying to preach, man, but just think about those people that's going to miss you if you ever leave them, y'all. Period. But y'all already know what it is, man. This is a bonus banger. So what I need y'all to do with this one? Like, share, subscribe to y'all. Let's get it. Let's go. What? It's time for business. It's time for business, y'all. And the story I got for y'all today is called He Had Him Under Pressure. Part 1. Crazy story, crazy situation, but we are where, people? We are in penitentiary, man. Crazy things happen all the time. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. Like, you gotta kind of be careful in there, man. Like, real talk, like, you think you can go in there and just start blabbing your business around and letting people know what's going on. I'm letting you know, man, you have people that prey on everything in there, man. You have people that prey on anything that you can think of in there. It's somebody that preys on it, man. Like, people is just waiting to see a weakness and waiting to see if you can handle yourself. And if you can't, people gonna come in and try to take advantage of you, man. That's just how I go in penitentiary, man. It's a dog-eat-dog world in there, man. And the freaking weak doesn't really survive in there, man. That's just how I go, man. So you gotta be careful about the stuff you do in there and the people you talk to in there, man. So with that being said, though, we are on Susses 2 for this, y'all. We on Susses 2. And I can remember being in 2C from the beginning. This is around the first time we came into Susses 2, man. We finally got moved to 2C. We finally got wrecked. We finally got stuff going on. You know what I mean? We've been locked down for so long. Not really long, but like, you know, after they had to get rid of the DC inmates, everybody like that, after they had to get rid of them on Susses 2, it took a minute for them to kind of like get us into form of we getting wrecked and all of that, man. Like, we couldn't get commissary, we couldn't do nothing. It was none of that going on. So I can remember when they first moved us to 2C, man, like, you know, like, I'm familiar with the people that was on the bus with me, man. Like, I haven't even like met dudes from Norfolk yet like that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm familiar with people that was on the bus with me, man. I think it was 1 or 2 dudes that was from out my way that was on the bus. And even if it was that, I don't even think it was that for real, man. But it was just people that I was familiar with from Deep Metal. So like, when we came from receiving to Susses 2, like, they put us in the same block. That's who I was familiar with. So by the time they moved us to 2C, they was trying to transition us to having the rec. They got rid of all the DC inmates, and they finally let us start doing stuff. Now, all this going on, we still can't order electronics. That was the only thing we was missing, man. But like, the people that was on the bus with me, like, it was like we was all kind of like trying to stick together, especially the people that was my age. You know what I mean? Like, y'all gotta understand, like, I'm just turning a dub at the most. I think I'm 19 or a dub, one of the two. I think I'm a dub though, at the most, man. I think I just turned 20. So like, we all new to prison. We all trying to figure it out, but we young and we ain't gonna let nobody carry us. So the dudes that was my age, we was kind of on some like stick together stuff, and we was all from different places. So by the time they moved us to 2C, it was like we already saw what was going on, man. Like, they put us in a pool of sharks, basically, man, because they moved us that was from the other part and 4 building. When they moved us to 2C, we only filled up some of the top tier. Man, everybody else, they was just bringing in from other camps. Everybody just was coming in from other camps, and we were just seeing maniacs come from across the street. We were seeing maniacs come from the mountains. We were seeing maniacs come from this place, that place. And next thing you know, our whole pod was full, y'all. So boom. So having a full pod now, that was different for us, man. You know, I'm coming from a place where it was open dorm game, bunk beds everywhere. Now I'm coming to a place where I'm in a block and there's sales everywhere. And there's everybody in the block. There's 80 some people in the block. So we was trying to get used to the situation, man. But this one dude, man, I'm not even going to say where he from, man, because this was a crazy situation, man. But we going to call him Terrence, man. We're going to call him Terrence, man. Now, Terrence was one of those dudes that kind of like to gamble, you know what I mean? Like early, like me, I used to gamble in the jail. I did gambling in the jail. I played spades. I shot dice with the hot balls. Dudes made the homemade dice. I did a lot of gambling, like, you know, but I don't know how to play poker and those other games yet. But I know how to play the stuff that I knew how to play. So I wasn't a big gambler, but I like to gamble too. But the dude Terrence, man, he was one of those dudes that got up there and it was like off the rip. That's what was intriguing him, like gambling, like, you know, not really just gambling, but like, just trying to be like a show off with everything, man. Like, that's what I would say. Like, that's how I paint Terrence's character, man. Terrence won't nothing but like 5'6", probably 180 pounds soaking wet. You know what I mean? He wasn't nobody that looked like a threat, but he still came on the bus with us. He still was somebody that we jive knew and we rocked with. You know, all us was looking young. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't even a major chubby dude around that time, like, for real. Like, I lost weight. I was small. All of us that looked young. All of us that looked young around that time. I ain't lying. That's my word. So, like, we still had bro back a little bit. We still used to rock with bro, even though bro used to be into a lot of stuff. So like, Terrence went from the gambling, he went from doing this and doing that to when they finally passed out the commissary sheets. Like, for real, like, I ain't gonna lie, like, I had probably like 2 money orders stacked up. From my mama sent me something, and then my brother sent me something. So I had $100. I think it was like $100 and some dollars. I probably had like $40 some dollars left over from Deep Metals from when I came. So I probably got $1 and change. So like, everybody was waiting to go to commissary, man. Like, they was dragging us. Like, we didn't get no commissary the whole time. We was there. Like, they didn't give us no commissary. We had to survive off that food and everything, man. We didn't have no property. We couldn't take our property from Deep Metals. We couldn't do anything. It's just we was under siege in that joint. So when the commissary sheets finally came out, man, it was a lot of people happy. It was a lot of people happy. So it was 2 other dudes that we used to rock with, man. One of them was from Richmond. One of them was from Tidewater that I used to rock with. So they all in the joint. So they in the joint with us. They don't have no money yet. They haven't gotten any money yet. They money haven't gotten there yet, man. But out of nowhere, Terrence came out of nowhere. Terrence hopped on the phone. Man, Terrence came off that phone, man. It's my word. We was all standing by the table. He walked over there by us. He was like, hey, look, who ain't going to commissary? I was like, I'm going to commissary. I can't wait to go to commissary, man. You tripping. I can't wait. He was like, you ain't going? Dude was like, yo, I ain't going. You know what I mean? The other dude was like, I ain't going either. I ain't going to maybe next month or something like that. He was like, nah, you going this week. Look, give me your name. Man, I'm going to get my peoples to put some money on your books, man, for you can go to the store. And me and you just got the joint. So everybody was cool with it. Like, everybody agreed to it. And like, I'm sitting back looking at this like, that was a little honorable move right there. I ain't even gonna lie, because these dudes, like, I was just gonna look out for them when I got my stuff. You know what I mean? I was assuming Terrence was gonna do the same thing. It was like 4 of us that used to hang out. So I was thinking Terrence was gonna do the same thing. But Terrence went on and got their names and put the money on their books, y'all. So boom. So they go from not having nothing on store day to now they have something on store day, man. So like, he done that move for them. He looked out for them like that. Now, everybody didn't know what was going on except us, the people that used to rock with him like that. Now, like I say, he would stray off from us and he would go gamble and do little different stuff like that. But I never really asked. Like, you know, he'll do stuff like that, and he'll go gamble, and then he'll lose, and you'll see him get on the phone, then he'll take care of the business or whatever the case. But like, I never worried about it. Like, I just thought that he can handle whatever he was doing. That's how I was looking at it. Now, Terrence, he wasn't nobody that was pushing stuff at nobody either. Like, he wasn't on it like, he was one of those dudes at the gambling events that was talking trash or none of that. Like, that's just all he used to do. So he get his head pecked one day at the gambling joint, man. You know what I mean? He know how to play poker. We didn't. He get his head pecked at the poker table. He leave the poker table, come over there and sit with us, and was like, man, I just lost $150, man. We was like, what? How much you lose? He was like, I lost $150. I'm like, 100. Back then, 2002, we looking at that like, what? Well, you lost $150? He was like, yeah, man, I lost $150, man. I gotta send it to him, though. I'm just gonna send it to his books. Like, yo, that's crazy, man. Like how you lose $150? He was like, man, I just was buzzing over there, man. I was just buzzing. So one of the bros that was sitting with us, he was like, yo, he was like, man, how you be getting all this money though, man? Like, we locked up. Like, how can you would you got somebody out there that just pull the strings like that? He was like, man, look, man, I got money. You ain't got to worry about that. Just don't think us everybody locked up, they ain't got no money. He was like, I got money, bro. I got money. He was like, well, how you get all this money? Like, what was you was hustling? Like, you know what I mean? He was like, nah, I ain't want hustling. He was like, I got an abduction charge. So that was his case. He said he had an abduction case. When he started talking about what his case was, he said that he caught an abduction joint from his girl's sister. You know what I mean? Which, like, that's how, sometimes abductions be by accident. You know what I mean? Dude might be like, yo, dude might pull the hammer out or pull a weapon out, whatever the case, or even not even without a weapon, be like, yo, get over here. You ain't going nowhere. Stand right there. You ain't moving. Like, basically, like, that's abduction. You know what I mean? Like a hostage situation, not a hostage, but just basically forcefully making somebody go or move somewhere where they don't want to be. So that's an abduction. So he said he had an abduction. They caught a 12 ball behind that jump. You know what I mean? Caught Tom Brady game behind that jump. So like he was like, nah, that's not my kid. You know what I mean? Like, nah, I don't be hustling. I got this. But he was like, nah, he ran into some money. His uncle raised him. He was like, his uncle raised him. He said his uncle was one of those dudes that was already older. You know what I mean? He said he had an older uncle. And that's who we raised him. You know what I mean? He was like, his mom was locked up. And he was like, his dad ended up moving. He never really met his dad or none of that stuff. So he said basically his uncle raised him, which was his mom brother. So he said his uncle just basically left him, you know what I mean? When his uncle passed, his uncle left him some bread. He had him in his insurance. So he said for the junk that he got back, he said he had just got the money back right before he got locked up. So my question to him was, yo, bro, if you got some money, bro, what was you doing? What was you doing? Like, while he was like, man, just I used to drink. He was like, man, I used to be a young drinker, man. I used to drink, just wild out. So the other dude that be with us, he was like, so how much did he leave you? And I felt like that was a personal question, but I was still waiting for the answer though. I just really wanted to hear, because we all rock with each other. And I felt like, you know, it was none of our business, but if he answered, I'm cool with listening. He was like, man, look, just put it this way, man. Just put it this way, it was 6 figures. It was like 6 figures. So I started doing ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. I was like, well, how much though? He was like, man, it was a decent amount. It was a decent amount. Let's put it that way, man. And it'll be waiting for me when I get out. It'll be waiting for me when I get out, man. I'm like, man, that's crazy. So I'm like, bro, like, so who be taking care of all this? He was like, his wife. He was like, his wife. I call his wife. She's the one that handles my money. He was like, she already know that I'll trick from time to time. You know what I mean? She don't care. She told me she ain't got nothing to do with my money. So you do with your money however you gonna do with your money. So he broke down like everything about how he was doing. You know what I mean? So he broke down everything to us, and like it all made sense now. Like how bro got this bread, why he be looking out like that. I'm talking about it all made sense, man. So like from that point on, I kind of understood why bro would look out, because if I had money like that in penitentiary, like I definitely would probably look out too. I wouldn't be blowing it, but I'll definitely be looking out for the dudes I rock with, y'all. So boom. So Terrence used to play fair with us, man, for that particular reason. His uncle left him some money. So he was one of those dudes that we met back then, you know what I mean? As a young dude, we young. And he got the money, he got the bag. So he go from doing that. Now, I remember when he owed the dude, like he said, he owed the dude a buck and change at the poker table. I look up, I see the dude at the poker table at the phone with him. Now, he probably have to do this if he can give Terrence his information, and Terrence can give the information to his aunt. Now, the dude that he was at the poker table with that he owed, he had a dumb name. I ain't gonna lie, a simple name, but we're gonna call him Bob. We're gonna call him Bob. Now, Bob was kind of like intimidating looking. Like he was one of those dudes, when we seen him move in, like it was like I wasn't scared, but like I seen him and I just knew that he was a psycho. I knew it. Like I just knew, I was like, yeah, he a maniac. He walk in, he got the bald head, he got the little Rick Ross beard already. Like they was making everybody shaves, but he came from Sussex 1. He came from across the street. So they was making everybody shave it. That was on Sussex 2. But you can have a profile, but they didn't even start that on Sussex 2 yet. You know what I mean? So he came from Sussex 1 with the profile. So it was probably like him and 2 other dudes that came from other spots that had beards. They was the only one that had beards in our party at this particular moment. So he had the little Rick Ross beard, and he just gave me that kind of like that sneaky look. He probably was like in his late 30s. He was older than us, definitely, but he had that sneaky look. And when I looked, I seen him over there standing next to the phone, and I seen Terrence on the phone, you know what I mean, handling the business. Terrence put him on the phone, and I guess he was giving Terrence people his information. So everything was straight with that transaction. After that transaction was over with, Terrence pulled up on us, was like, yo, look, man. He was like, man, for real. He was like, that junk crazy. He was like, because everybody think that junk hurt me because I lost that 150. Bro, he was like, that junk ain't hurt me, man. He was like, hey, T White, that junk on that. And he was like, man, for real, they think that ain't nothing, man. He said, man, I'll buy the whole poker table. That's what I do. So he just was talking like that. So the dudes is with us, they laughing. I'm sitting there like, yo, bro, be easy with that junk. He was like, man, look, man, they think he came to the phone acting like he was doing something, man, with that little bit of money I owe him, man. He was like, that junk ain't nothing, man. He was like, man, I got over $100,000 in my bank account, man. What are you talking about? I got over 100 grand in my bank account. So I'm like, I hear that. I'm like, yo, bro, chill, bro. Relax, man. Chill out, man. He be like, nah. And that was the flamboyantness of him. That was the rookiness of him. That was the stuff that you don't supposed to do in penitentiary, man. You don't supposed to tell your business. You don't. So he just going all out loud. So everybody hear him. So the dude, Bob, he pull up. He was like, man, all right. Well, since you got all that money, then let's play me heads up. Play me heads up in poker then. Play me heads up in poker. So he was like, man, I ain't scared to play you heads up in poker. We can play. So I wanted to stop him. I ain't even gonna lie. I wanted to stop Terrence, man, but he was already performing. He was already on the stage performing. He was feeling good by shining on everybody because he had more guap than everybody. And it was nothing I could do at that time, y'all. So boom. So he go down to the table. He gamble dude heads up. Me and the bros walk over there and we start watching him. You know what I mean? We start watching the game. Like, I don't really know about poker like that, but all I know is dude was pecking his head. The dude Bob was pecking his head. So after it was all said and done, fast forward in the tape on that game, after it was all said and done, he lost 250. So he just lost 150. Now he owed 250. So you know what he had to do? He had to go get back on that phone. This time he got on the phone. I ain't even gonna lie. Bob came over there, he started talking to him, and I guess it humbled him. It humbled him a little bit. I ain't even gonna lie. It humbled him to the point where I saw the change in his conversation. When he walked over there to us, he was like, yeah, like, now they think I'm a target now because I got this money. And that's why I was like, bro, you told them you got money. He was like, they was going to find out anyway, T. Why? I said, how they was going to find out? I wasn't going to say nothing. He said, they wasn't going to say nothing. He was like, man, yeah, I should have said nothing, man. I should have said nothing. He was like, now they going to think I'm a target. I said, bro, look, stop gambling, bro. Like, I ain't want to cut the dude Bob. You know what I mean? I ain't want to cut his nuts by telling bro, stop gambling. But it was like, we was just sticking together. We wasn't real friends, but we was just sticking together because we knew each other from Deep Metals and we was around the same age. So that's what made us kind of bond slightly, but all us from different spots. It's geographical stuff going on around us. We just don't know it yet because we're new to the camp and we're young maniacs. But at the same time though, like Terrence, like I rock with him, but like still though, y'all already know how I move. Even as a young boy, man, like if you making dumb moves, man, like if I tell you tighten up and you don't listen, man, that's on you, y'all. So boom. But I ain't carrying like that with him though all the way. I basically say, bro, look, stop gambling, bro. Stop gambling, man. Like you know what I mean? We just got in here. Like, of course I'm a gamble. And I was going to gamble when I get my commissary and I was going to do all this stuff a young boy do here in penitentiary. But in this particular moment, I see what's going on. This man done blabbed his mouth and let people know that he got a little money. Who God knows who overheard this stuff. Now, Bob overheard it because Bob see how he get the money. He take care of stuff with Bob again. He take care of money with Bob. Bob done got him out of 400 game. You know what I mean? That fast. Bob done hit him out the 4-ball that quick. So Bob was from the art. I ain't even gonna lie. Bob was from the art. He was from the art, man. You know what I mean? He was one of them aggressive dudes that, you know, like, he was one of those dudes that, like, I felt like he wasn't going to be aggressive until it was time. Now, you could tell that he was a maniac, like, just his demeanor, like, the size of him, you know what I mean? Pause, like, everything about him that it led up to him being a maniac in my eyes. And for real, I didn't really want to, like, cross paths with him. Like, as I saw it, like, people was already talking like, yeah, he was sus as one. He used to push the knife, and he do all of this, and he do all of that. And, like, you know, coming to a place where you hear people have weapons and will hurt you with the weapon, man, like that's a different feeling for a dude our age. You know? Like I'm 20 years old and I'm hearing about people will stab you. I'm like, man, I ain't really trying to cross paths with him, man. But I already see that Terrence is crossing paths with him and I kind of see what's going on. So like, for real, it was looking like Terrence need to listen to my advice and stop gambling because the dude Bob, man, he started to smell like he started to smell coward after a while. And when a maniac smell coward, a maniac scratch, y'all. So boom. So I already know Bob kind of like making his mark slightly. So this was the first jump. The whole time we was in here. Wasn't nothing jumping like that. Nothing jumping. I'm talking about it won't no la-la. I'm not thinking about no la-la. We just got on the camp. You know what I mean? Not really just, we just got into 2C. So like I already knew that like narcotics was going to happen. It was just, it wasn't happening in our par yet. It took one dude to move in the joint. He go to the visit room. He come back from the visiting room. Bro, come back with the la-la. He come back with the la-la, man. I promise y'all, man. So I promise y'all I went like this. Dude come back for the VI with the la-la. We out in the pod. We chilling. All I smell is, that jump was like, I was like, yo, you smell that? Everybody was like, yeah, somebody got some la-la. I was like, yo, that jump strongest. I was like, man, who got it? Everybody was trying to find out, like, for real, I want some. I ain't even gonna lie, like, I want some. I was chasing. I was like, man, who got it? Dudes was like, yo, we gonna find out. So everybody trying to find out who got it. Bro from Petersburg got it, who just came from across the street. So I was like, all right. So I pull up on him. Dude slept on the same tier as me. I slept in 34. He slept kind of like at like 28, something like that. So I pull up. When he come out, I pull up. He was like, yeah, he got it. He was like, I'm trying to sell it for some money though. So like, you know, I'm green. I don't know what money. I'm like, money. We talking commissary money. He was like, I'm gonna do that too, but I'm talking about money. Like money. So I'm like, oh, he was like, we do Western Union? So I'm like, nah, I don't think I can do Western Union. I was being honest because me doing the Western Union, like I have to call my peoples that's already looking out and be like, yo, look, can you go to Western Union? Like I just felt like I couldn't do that to my people. So I was like, nah, bro, I don't think I can do that. He was like, well, look, just hold tight there. He was like, oh, what's your name? T White, bro? I was like, yeah. He was like, just hold tight there. I'm gonna come back and holler at you. I'm gonna spin around. He's like, I'm gonna run around for a little bit. And then you know what I mean? I'll do something for you though, man. Store there or something, man. I was like, all right, I appreciate that, man. So I watched him move around. So Terrence walked up on us. Terrence was like, why y'all looking crazy? He was like, what you mean why we looking crazy? He was like, why y'all looking crazy? We was like, what you mean why we looking crazy? We can't get no la-la. Dude say he want Western Union. Whatever. He want the people bumble. He want our peoples to go to Western Union. He was like, dang, that's it. He was like, yeah. He was like, y'all, man, I should go buy his whole pack. That's what I should do. I was like, buy his whole pack. He was like, man, I can buy his whole pack if I want to. As we saying that, you hear dude Bob was like, hey, Terrence, let me holler at you right quick, Shaw. It's important. Terrence was like, all right. You know what I mean? He started talking to Bob. That's word, Bob talking to him, Bob hollering at him. We watching the whole junk. Bob talking to him. They having a conversation. I mean, Bob talking to him for a little bit. Next thing you know, they walk over towards the phone. Bob was right there over top of him the whole time. He was like this on the jack. He was on the phone like this. Bob was behind him, just over top of him, like just looking down. He like this on the jack. He like, yeah. All right. He hung the phone up. He went to Bob's cell. Bob slept in cell 16 behind the steps. He go to Bob's cell. We see him go to Bob's cell. He going to dump. Talking to Bob. I look up. I see the dude from Petersburg come down the stairs and go to Bob's cell. He in there for a minute. Then he leave. As soon as he leave, dude Terrence come walk back over there where we was at. I'm watching. Y'all know I'm dumb nosy. I watched the whole jump. He walk over there where we was at. He walked back up. He was like, y'all trying to go up? We was like, damn right, you got something? He was like, yeah, come on. He was like, let's go to your cell, T White. I was like, all right, because y'all know I sleep in 34. So we shoot to my cell. So we go to my cell. We in the joint. 229 a day in there. We rolled up 2 J's. Rolled 2 jumps up for us. We hitting the joints. So as we hitting the joint, I was like, yo, bro. I was like, look, man. I was trying to get something to store there for real though, man. I was like, but the dude told me the Western Union joint. I was like, what's up, man? I was like, look, let me give you some money and you can buy the joint on Western Union. I was like, for real? I said, how much did you buy? He was like, man, I ain't really buying nothing for real. I was like, you ain't buying nothing? I said, bro, you just looked out and did all this. I said, you had to buy something. He said, I ain't really buying nothing for real though, T White, man. I bought everything for Bob.
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hitting club. Stay out the way. Mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way. Stand out the way. What you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.